and welcome back. I am really just sitting here wondering if, as part of the casting process, they're required to submit feet pics. And if that is the case, how the hell did Jen make it into the villa? Okay, everybody, it is Wednesday night. We are like midway through Casa. I would say this episode was better than the last, but only slightly. Nothing is quite hitting as the sweet possibility that was that first Casa episode. Let's roll right into our pre-episode rankings. So just as a reminder, this is our list from most to least likely of who we think is going to jump ship and swivel on over into a new coupling. So at the top, we have Caleb and Jen, then Casey and Kenzie, Corbin and Kata, Zach and Trinity, Sincere and Anaya, Bryce and Melody. So going into the episode, this is who we kind of were thinking, yeah, it's not looking good for the couple. Okay, so honestly, when they do these big gross challenges, sometimes it just dominates my brain, and it is hard for me to honestly recall anything else that happens in the episode. I'm just going to be really fucking honest right now. So we're going to roll into these couple updates. Hopefully I get the general of what the hell happened, because honestly, I'm just seeing every time I close my eyes. So, our single sweethearts. So Jen very quickly bonds to the only other blonde man in the villa. Shocking. Okay, so this seems, apparently this is her normal type. She likes that skater, surfer dude. He's the kind of guy that looks like he would have sand in his car, you know what I mean? Which, good on him. I hope she's glowing. He said some words, and that's happening. I'm keeping the swivel score at 5. Obviously, she's single going into this. To not come back with anybody would be, well, it would be a reflection of the casting for Casa this year. Anyways, so the more interesting storyline between the two of them is obviously Caleb. Now, this must have been just, wow, devastating for Caleb. I will say, thank you so much, Love Island Production, for receiving my personal memo for him to shave his pubic beard. I'm glad we got that taken care of. I'm very, very grateful. So what was really funny / sad, I laughed, but I understand it's sad, is that Corbin once again swoops on this poor child's women. So he is with our kitty cat. What's her name? Parmita. Thank you. Parmita. My brain is going to want to go Parmesan, but okay, Parmita. And Caleb is really feeling good, right? He has the high status girl of the villa, and they shared a bed, and he's feeling good. And then we learn that Parita and Corbin know each other. In fact, follow each other on Instagram. In fact, exchanged a couple of DMs when he moved to Miami. Something about working out. I don't know. But Corbin is like, yeah, I let Caleb take the first swing. That's not what he said, but that's what he meant. And he swoops that girl. And it is like Caleb doesn't exist. So they're like sitting on a couch away from everyone else, holding pillows in front of their face like, you can't see me kiss. Like, yes, babes, everyone is seeing you kiss. Okay. And then for them to come back and sit next to Caleb. So it's like Caleb, and then Parmesan, and then Corbin. And so she's like in the middle of them, and she's like touching up on Corbin, and he gets her arm around her, and the phone is out. And now, mind you, Caleb and this woman have not had a single conversation about the fact that Corbin and her are apparently now exploring. So that escalated quickly, and these two, we'll get into it when we get into it, but they basically make out the rest of the episode. Oh, Caleb? No, not Caleb. Caleb doesn't get that kind of treatment. Now, Caleb, interestingly, exactly like Jen, finds the other blonde and just starts to familiarity. Ew, it's whatever. Okay, if it works for you, it works for you. Great. Honestly, it's giving No One Wants Me on both sides for Caleb and I think they called her Jelly, so I'm gonna call her Jelly. So for Jelly and Caleb, it's giving I don't care. So again, we're putting the swivel score at a 5. Honestly, Corbin stealing this man's woman again was peak. Love that for you, Corbin. Thank you for that moment. Oh, and now we're gonna roll right on in to Zach and Kata. Now, interestingly enough, they have not decided to disappear Elena, whatever, that woman from the villa, which, okay, whatever, I understand, because you, at this point, who the hell else are you going to put in Casa for Zach to do nothing with? To literally do nothing with? I don't know. Well, you're so right. So they just don't show it. So we don't see any of her. Okay, I'm fine with that. And we don't see any of him, which the distance is giving me clarity. Honestly, I needed it. It was good for me. I'm putting Zach's swivel score. I'm gonna take it down to a 2 because I don't know. Maybe production was like, listen, we can't disappear this girl, but she ain't coming back, and we're barely gonna put her in the show. Like, they flash her so that you know she's still there and has not been disappeared, but like, she's not getting any screen time, baby, unless absolutely necessary. So good. That was a decision. Let's move on to Kata. Now, Kata's getting to know Che, okay? And misprint from last night. I said that these two kissed when they went and had their little chat. I was imagining they didn't. That was a lie. I told you a lie. I'm so sorry. They did not kiss last night. They kissed not today either, unless you count the challenge. He asks for a kiss. She denies him. So Zach and Kata will be getting back together, I guess, which is just so annoying because it's boring. So we're going to put her swivel score, I'm going to put it at a 2.5. That 0.5 is really just representative of my small amount of hope. It's there, but it's dissipating. So, rolling right on through. Oh, yes, let's talk about Kinsey and Corbin. So, update on Kinsey. She is still doing the splits. She is still slamming that kitty cat down on the boy snake. If you know, you know. I mean, she is, and I've decided to love that for her, right? I'm reformed. So, Kenzie is getting to know Dylan, and the way I don't like Dylan, I don't even know what it is. Do I have a problem with white men? Because I also felt the same way about Bryce, so maybe I need to do some self-reflection, but there's something about him that just gives me the, like, he seems slimy, right? And when Kenzie did the whole, it's sugar, it's spice, it's everything nice, I just came out with that. Just like right now. I'm sick of it. Oh, yeah, I did not care for Dylan, but this is happening. They're doing this. I'm putting Kenzie, she's staying at a 5. She's gone. Okay, so the better storyline here is, of course, Corbin swooping Caleb's kitty cat. Okay, so he basically drops that blonde like a hot potato. He probably doesn't even know Jelly's full name, similar to myself, and instead picks up his Instagram mutual. And honestly, this was kind of like, I was talking about this during Caleb's section because Caleb was boring to me. I felt kind of bad for him, but whatever. They continue to make out. They get in bed, and they're the only ones really getting down and kissing in the bed, and they kissing, and even Corbin is like, it is lustful right now, bruh. Honestly, have we seen Corbin say the most words consecutively in Casa? Maybe. This might be the most we've seen him come out of a shell, honestly. He's not giving it's like, you know, when ChatGPT goes through that, like, update, and then it's like whole personality changes. And then all those people that had, like, married their AI were like, no! It's kind of like that. I would say similar. So, both of these are staying out of 5 for me. They are 100% coming back with someone else. And so, say what you will about Kenzie, but she has no problem moving on from that man. So I gotta respect her for that. Moving right along. Okay, so we did learn that Casey has a whole different personality in Casa, and that he's emotionally immature. The way he was, like, laughing in Titi's, it's starting to get the ick for me. Oh, Casey, I was rooting for you. And yeah, I don't know that you have it, buddy. So, okay, here's the deal with Casey. Is that Casey is like, what if I did the exact same thing that I did to Anaya, kind of, where she only let me do it hypothetically, but what if I did it actually to you, Titi? Are you going to respond? Because I have to explore everything. And he should. Again, the issue is not with the exploring. I thought that was fine. It's that he wants Titi to not have any type of issue. Right? And I think that's Casey's actual problem, is that he wants to do whatever he wants to do, but he doesn't want anyone else to have a negative reaction to it. Right? That's really what the crux of this issue is. And so he decides he wants to explore Sydney. And that conversation was uncomfortable for me. I'm going to call it out. I don't think that boy has ever used whipped cream in the bedroom. And I think he listens to music every time. I bet he has a privated Spotify playlist. Because when she was like, you need music? You're putting music on to do the nasty, to do the dirty? He was like, no, I don't even need it. I mean, that's crazy. Who does that? I think you do. Casey, I think you do. I think you put that music on. So, I wasn't really getting the chemistry with Sydney. For me, it was just giving Casey horn dog. He just wanted to make out with someone new. I guess. Good. Okay, cool. So they sleep in the bed. And then he wakes up. He's like, it was friend vibes. We didn't even cuddle or do nothing at all. And then him and Corbin have like a touch base conversation about how they're feeling about their connections back in the villa. And honestly, Casey was kind of saying some heinous shit. We get it. You are more physically attracted to Titi than Anaya. There is nothing wrong with that. You don't have to keep saying it. You said it like a lot, dude. Like you said it a lot. And I thought that was gross and I didn't like it. And I feel bad for Anaya if we have to see this in movie night. Are they just going to do like a supercut of every single time he's like not attracted to her, not attracted to Anaya, more attracted? I have nothing in common with Anaya. He was really shitting on Anaya this whole episode and then is pretending like the possibility of him going back to her is still there. Like, dude, call a duck a duck. You're gonna bring somebody else back. Like, can we just sit in that? Can we name it? Can we own it, please? Yeah, so I don't know. Casey is honestly, he's tap dancing on my last nerve. So that's what Casey is doing. I am giving his swivel score. I'm giving it a 5. He's not going back to Anaya. After the things he said about her, woo! He is not going back to Anaya. So I'm giving that one a 5. So Anaya, she kisses her volleyball player. They get a little, they got some smooches in, right? I think that was last episode. And do they talk again this episode? Did they show this guy? Did Carl speak at all this episode? I don't remember Carl speaking this episode. So if Carl did speak this episode, it was not memorable. And if they spoke to each other, it was not memorable. Mostly what I remember is Casey talking about, or Anaya talking about Casey, looking at pictures of him on her phone, talking about how, I don't want to hear it, Anaya. I don't want to hear it. That man does not care about you. You know he does not care about you. Move on. Do us all a favor. Like, do anything else at this point, babes. So, I guess she's pursuing this volleyball guy. I'm putting Anaya, I'm putting it at a 2. I don't know. She keeps on talking about this fool over here, this clown. So, I guess we're going with that. So, Anaya is down to a 2. Let's roll on through to our next couple. We have Melanie and Sincere. Melanie kind of surprised me this episode. She is really good at this kind of hot and cold with me. Maybe I understand what Sincere was going through. No, I'm just kidding. That's horrible. I hate Sincere. I'm going to pick Melanie's side in this because I think as much as she is giving, what's his face? What's that guy? Clancy? Corey. I think she is giving Corey a chance. She dropped that other guy that they had that chat in Soul Ties. Ronnie, I think is his name. I'm telling you right now, I'm not really going to remember his name because he will be gone by the end of the week. He seemed like a very nice man. Actually, he feels like he should be cast on The Bachelor. This is not the show for him. And so Melanie is kind of starting to vibe with Carl. And the reason why is because Carl goes up and does that stuff. You know, that whole thing that's happening now where we're like whiplashing back into the 1950s. And so it's all about how the man is dominant. And women just need a man that are going to dominate them. So I think that's the other thing is like, that gives me the ick. That gives me, oh no, you're part of the problem. And so I think any type of that, like men should be the more dominant one, that type of energy, I find grating and instantly makes me Heisman you. So I don't love that, but they seem to both love that. And so if that's, I'm not going to yuck your yum. So if that's what you want to do together, do that together. Because it's way better than with Sincere. Way better. And I do kind of like what he said, where he was like, not every man can handle you. Is a woman something to be handled? I digress. So I am actually I'm gonna bump Melanie up to a 3. You know what? I think she was as open as she could be. Maybe we'll get some kisses tomorrow. Maybe, hey, after that challenge, feels like all the awkwardness and tension should be gone. So maybe we'll get some movement on that. And then I am putting Sincere. I don't know, dude. Here's the deal. Is he says I really like Amora and we're really connecting and she has bright eyes and it's everything you could want. And they do kiss because it's Sincere and he loves kissing, with his little hand up. Seriously, loves kissing. But it was hollow to me. Like, his face is giving dead. And her energy is also weird. It sounds like she is like monotone reading from a script. And so when she was originally, when they were on the beds kind of towards the beginning of the episode, and she was like, I really connect with you. And like, oh my God, there's a butterfly. I thought that she was just like literally going in and rehearsing the lines the producers had given her because it was so dry and lacked just like, maybe that's just her disposition and I'm misreading it, but it did not read for me on screen. It wasn't, there was no chemistry. It felt very dead. I don't believe the kisses. I am putting Sincere. I'm putting him at a 2 because it's Sincere, so you can't ever put him at a 1, but I'm going to put him at a 2. Not really interested by what Sincere is doing because, again, I think he's just going to lead this woman on. And, like, the first time it was interesting. The second time it was like, whoa, that's crazy. I don't need to see it more than twice. Okay, so that is what is going on there. And then we have America's favorite couple, according to the freaking app or whatever. It is Bryce and Trinity. And now I'm not going to hold it against Trinity. She cracked, right? She tried. She kissed, not Carl. Corey, thank you. Too many CK names. This is terrible. So she kisses Corey right in the photo booth, and she really tries, but it's just not there for her. She is thinking about Bryce. She really misses Bryce, and I believe Trinity. Like, when Trinity talks about missing Bryce, I believe it because she's talking about him. She's talking about the connection. She's talking about the jokes. She's talking about the levels of vulnerability that she feels she's opened herself up to, right? It's not centered in the same way that Bryce is. And so while I do believe Trinity, I will still go on record and say I don't believe Bryce. I think he's convincing, right? I think he's good at playing the game. We don't see him do anything this episode. Basically, we see him in the corner of every single shot of Casa just like moping and looking sad. So he's really putting it on, and maybe he really feels that way, but something tells me it's actually about the fact that none of the girls in the Casa Villa want to couple up with Bryce. No one's interested. And so if no one is interested in him, it's like Kata all over again. Like, this man's whole Love Island experience is getting swerved by women outside of Trinity. And so, I mean, I think there is something to said for being picked, right? We all want to be picked. That's very normal. But Bryce, I don't believe you. I don't have any other evidence other than I just don't believe you, Bryce. So I'm still a Bryce hater until I die or see something I actually believe in, and I haven't seen it yet. So, Bryce, we're putting at a 1. Trinity, we are putting at a 1. Which means that we're not going to have the big Trinity, like, oh, man. I need, like, it's not that I want to see Trinity emotionally dysregulated. It's just that I really think that she has a quick wit and a sharp tongue, and she could tear this man to pieces. I just want to tear, I crave blood. I just want to see her tear somebody to pieces. And I just don't feel like I'm going to get that now. So I'm sad. And I'm also sad because I think this guy is going to play you in the aftermath of all of this. We'll see. We're going to keep watching. So, that is all of that. Let's talk about this nasty gross challenge, right? I got through all that other shit just so we could talk about this. So what is with all the feet sucking? What is that? Why are they all doing that? Why is this now the default? Is like, when you look at Google Trends, does Gen Z have is there like an upcline on the foot fetish that I just don't know about? Am I missing something here? Is this now more culturally accessible? Did like the joke of selling feet pics go too far? Can we ever come back as a culture? Like, that video of those two college guys kissing at a protest, and then like the professor being like, ah! That's how I felt when they started sucking on each other's toes again. So what am I talking about? I am talking about the thermometer challenge. And so it's very simple. There are these big light pole things, and everybody gets to make out with everybody. And you have a category, right? So like, who had tickling? That was awkward. Caleb had tickling. So Caleb chooses jelly, and they're going head against Jen and, Gal. See, it's clicking. And the tickling was awkward. I just want to say it was uncomfortable. I didn't like it. It made me feel icky, and you could tell that Caleb was also uncomfortable. I think we were all uncomfortable. Okay, let's kind of roll through so we have, let's go left to right. So Kata and Che face off against Zach and that girl whose name I'm not going to remember. And so Kata wins. Kata does her big one, and Zach is spiraling about this. He's like, who's Che? Because they get a text like, Kata and Che have won the round for the villa. And so Zach is all in his head about it. And again, Zach with a hypothetical matcha. Isn't this what you wanted? Isn't it all going to plan, brother? And how are you going to stand there and make out with the girl that your brother already made it? That's weird. That's bizarre. Like, gross. Whatever. Okay, so then we have Anaya and Carl. Maybe this is the conversation I was forgetting about. And they go up against Casey, and he chooses Titi. And their prompt is dance. And Casey won that one. It was not even close. Whatever Anaya and Carl were doing wasn't dancing. I think Carl's pants came off at one point. He was like basically naked. It wasn't dancing. I don't know what it was. It wasn't dancing. What Casey and Titi threw it back. That's T, as the kids would say. So honestly, I was flabbergasted. It was when she threw it back, her whole skirt lifted off of her rumpus. It was crazy. We saw so much underwear. It was like, I was clutching my pearls. Like, I felt like a grandma. I was like, oh no! Like, it was so... Wow, I was flabbergasted. So Casey definitely won that one over Anaya. Then we have Trinity, and she chooses that guy that's going to be gone by the end of the week, just by default. And they go up against Bryce, and theirs was suck. And the way Trinity dropped to her knees and took that finger, I literally screamed. It was wow. I can't even, I don't have words. I still haven't processed it. I'll talk about it in therapy next week. That was crazy. And then Bryce had to suck on this woman's feet. Why? And Trinity was sucking on this man's big toe. Ew. Oh. And she said it too. She was like, I sucked on everything. I need to wash everything. This is nasty. That was funny. It was gross. But Bryce and his foot sucking, toe licking ass beat out Trinity. So we do have that. And we already kind of covered the Jen. And this one, it was the tickling. It was uncomfortable. And the Casa people lost. And then we had Melanie and... What's his name? Corey. I want to call him Clay. That's why I'm pausing. We had Melanie and Corey against Sincere and Amora. And Melanie and Corey, they beat it. They absolutely won that. The way I did not believe in Sincere and Amora at all, but I did believe in Melanie. I believed in Mela, okay? And honestly, they look good together. Like, their energy kind of more matches. And I hate Sincere, so I'm shipping it. I think maybe Melanie can be saved. Honestly, Melanie, save yourself. You don't need a man. Get rid of all men. Just be with yourself for a little bit. It's going to be okay. So, and then, of course, Kenzie, she says it. She's like, I do the splits on this man's face. I do it on his penis. I do it on anywhere that the splits can be done. Kenzie is throwing, again, that kitty to the ground. She's bouncing. I wonder if there's bruising. Oh my gosh, do you think that there's workers' comp? I wonder if they're, like, contracted as workers, and then, like, hypothetically, if Kinsey did break the penis off of Dylan by splitzing off him, is that a workers' comp claim? HR professionals, let me know in the comments. So, that's... Oh, yeah, and then they lost. She did all of that, and then Corbin. And, hey, that's because Corbin and Parmesan were literally almost having sex. Like, it felt uncomfortable watching it. Like, it really felt like they were gonna go maybe a little too far. Like, I was flustered. I'm flustered talking about it now. My good Christian upbringing is just like, whoa, this was crazy. Like, this was the moral sin everyone was warning me about, and it's real. They are out there doing Love Island. Not as crazy as we've seen it in past seasons, but overall, it was a pretty good temperature check challenge. Then they do the classic freestyle where everybody makes out with everybody. We're passing them around. We're passing it around, and Melanie's running up, and she's kissing she kisses Kata. She tries to kiss Kenzie. She's kissing everybody, Melanie is. And it occurred to me in that moment, Zach and Bryce, where are you? This is your chance. This is your chance. You can do it. You can finally kiss, guys. You had it. You had your opportunity, and you didn't take it. They have really backed off. Showing us Bryce and Zach. So I don't know if those two aren't talking in Casa. It seems unlikely. If we're just now seeing it, or if someone in Casa relayed to Zach and or Bryce, hey, by the way, everyone thinks you're gay. Just so you know, just like everyone thinks you're gay for each other. So, and then they've just like kind of backed off of it. And if so, that's sad. That's homosexual shame. And we don't appreciate that in this neighborhood. So kiss, boys, kiss. So that is what is going on in that. Honestly, I feel ready for Casa to come to an end. Because I feel like even with the amount of time left, not much more is going to happen. Like, it kind of feels like what's happened has happened. Let's get these people back together and see the fallout now. Like, everything this season, all of the storylines feel very stretched, right? Like, we're scraping the bottom of the barrel. So overall, I would say this has been probably a highlight of the season, but has not saved the season yet. You know what I mean? So let's roll into this. Of course, our single sweethearts remain at the top. Casey and Kenzie are right there. I don't think that is moving. Corbin has popped up to number 3. Kata is number 3. Melanie had to move up for me, dropping into 4. And honestly, Sincere and Zach feel pretty same to me. Sincere only slightly ahead of Zach. But then in 5th place, we have Anaya and Zach. And in last, womp womp, we have America's couple, Bryce and Trinity. Which, great. I hope that she takes all the money from him and doesn't give him anything if we're lucky. So that is the update. If you watched the end, thank you so much. Shout out to the 14 friends in the room. Are you joking me? I have loved the comments. You guys are great. Thank you so much to my wife on the iPad, and we will not be here tomorrow night because it's Wednesday and the show isn't on, but we will see you all on Thursday.